Hey there YouTube, I'm Yukitsu, this is the Yukitsu Times, welcome to my channel, welcome back to a little bit of Frostpunk as we close in on the final days here. So I've got like a day and a bit of preparation left here. There's realistically not a whole lot to do. This is going to be our final episode of this before I get into my review, because that's realistically the only reason I'm actually playing on this difficulty, is so I can get a better perspective of this, because playing it on the normal mode, I had some complaints about it that I don't think are necessarily fair until I played this on the harder difficulty. So we'll figure out what the hell's going on or something like that. I don't really know. Anyway, over here, I probably need to get rid of everybody from like our propaganda center once it starts getting colder, and I need to start turning off like all of our unnecessary heaters. Like, what's this cover? Do I even need this thing? I don't think I technically do, because I'm pretty sure most of these are staffed entirely by robots, although I don't think the pub is like crewed by a robot. So maybe we could throw like a thing in the public house or something like that. I don't really know. We have got our techs coming in there to get us that coal thumper injector. What that's going to do is when I switch out my robots from like a bunch of their other jobs over towards working coal thumpers and gathering posts, we're going to have a much larger amount of coal available, so I don't need to have as many coal thumpers active. I can just have 2 active and then have everybody, all the rest of those things working in the gathering posts, so that'll just be a slightly more efficient way of doing that. I also, at that point in time, I'm going to switch over so that all of these guys, until we've collected more wood, I'm going to switch them all to the gathering posts, and then we'll switch them back to these guys, because these things are a little bit faster, I find. We're getting 26.6 out of those guys. Actually, what the hell are we getting out of these guys here? 28.1. Apparently the gathering posts are actually a little bit faster. I should probably just use those then, I guess. Although, then on the other hand, the gathering post is being crewed by humans, and humans, I think, are a little bit faster right now, because they're also getting, yeah, they're working 120%, these guys are working 95%. So, when I switch these to robots, they lose the agitator bonus, which I guess makes sense. So, when they lose the agitator bonus, it'll drop down from that amount to something much lower than the charcoal kiln, so that'll be sort of my last day's emergency coal reserve sort of thing, because we're not actually ahead on coal by that much. We're ahead of coal in the sense that, like, I'm technically speaking capable of, well, I can actually reduce our temperature probably by 1 tick, but, it's being controlled by an AI anyway, so that one's fine. The only problem, like, really with reducing our temperature is that our medical posts are all reliant on our current heat here. These houses back here didn't look that warm for some reason, or maybe they did. Oh yeah, no they did, it's just the hospitals. The infirmaries, on the other hand, are actually fine, so I could actually just turn off the regular ones and just throw them all in infirmaries, because they're much, much more warm, but maybe there's another hospital installation that I haven't gotten yet, I can't remember. I guess we could go and check. Yeah, no, I got both the healthcare installation things, so no point in getting the infirmary mechanization, so yeah, we're realistically looking at as much insulation as we can possibly get, which makes no sense, because it makes no sense that you need to research it. All you really need to do is start stuffing, like, more and more paper stuff around your walls or whatever. Anyway. So, I have properly disbanded everything, so that's good. I'm not getting any more shipments of anything, which is bad. I think we're still getting a little bit of work from some of these things. No, we're not. Okay. Oh yeah, I moved them all into science. I'd rather get the science right now. Our food's actually fine. These are all human workers. I think we're okay until tomorrow. I don't really need to, like, we're not falling behind in food. I wonder if I can get, like, those green, red bars for food as well. Because I know we can get that for consumption of other resources there. Oh yeah, no, there we go. We get 2,044 rations per day at our current rate, and our consumption is 691, so we're actually fine. I feel as though that number is a horrible lie, though, because they seem to always consume way more than the sort of listed numbers. So that's always fun. The next day, though, I can sort of, I mean, technically I could do it right now, but because it lasts for 24 hours. If I do it later, though, I could do one more emergency thing with, like, the robots or something, I guess. I don't know. what could potentially be important right now? I mean, I could take stuff apart actually for cores, and then use it for more infirmaries or something like that. I don't think I really need to. Medical automatons don't really seem necessary, honestly. I could do streamlined prosthetics, just in case I need to get a bunch of prosthetics, but honestly, if they're like that, I can just sort of leave them. Yeah, no, I feel like we're actually just kind of done researching right now, so I'm actually going to move these guys all off of this stuff here. So I did sort of rush this, I guess, more than I had to. And I'm just going to do this. The reason I'm not going to continue actually researching now that I've sort of got... Because I could technically just get the last few things there for the hell of it, but it costs wood to do that, so... Doing this, I think, is going to be a little bit smarter. Okay, and... That's why I should have actually had real people in here during the day, because it would have been like that extra 20% more efficient. But you know what? Sometimes you just don't really give a damn. Alright. So they'll work on through the night here. Kind of almost feel as though I want to start getting them into the coal buildings instead. Let's just turn you on here. Oops, that's not how you do it. There we go. Yeah, this is fine. Okay. So they should head over here eventually and start pumping out more raw food, and that'll just give us a bit more buffer, a little bit more leeway. I don't need steel anymore, so we're going to go ahead and tell this guy he's not working anymore. I have some just in case something really weird happens and I find I need it in an emergency or whatever the hell. So this guy will start working on that stockpile. I don't know if I've got any other spare automatons right now. Oh, yeah, charcoal kilns. Right, we're gonna actually pull one of you guys off already. And we'll just do this so that we can start storing up charcoal. I've got 2 of these guys right now. Okay. There we go. Eventually I will need to remove all of the people off of their jobs. And the reason that you sort of have to do that is eventually you will hit this sort of point where it's too cold for them to like be in their like place of work or whatever the hell. So, oh god, what is even happening here? I think both my computer has just got a lot of stuff going on emotionally right now, and also someone's trying to message me in Discord really, really hardly. Also, the game's trying to save like just at the same time while I'm trying to record. It's just not ideal. Okay, that was unpleasant. Alright, how are we doing for our coal consumption here? Yeah, we're barely making a profit. You know what, actually I should probably get machines into the thumpers pretty soon, because they are colder, it looks like. But we'll do that come the morning when I move these walkers all off of these things here. Like, even if it looks like you've got enough food, just don't try and assume that you will have enough. Just make sure that you're growing into this with a lot more than they're talking about, because it's like, oh, you've got 7 days worth of foods, and then it's like, someone stole 3,000 rations. What are you going to do about it? I'm going to murder them and their entire family, but beyond that... Alright, so I don't want to go too quickly here. I think we do get a little bit better return if we remove the robots out of the thumpers, maybe? I'm not really too sure about that, though. Anyway, let's go ahead and speed this up a little bit here. Let's get up to about 6 o'clock before we start doing too much shuffling. And might as well do it now. Don't really care that much. Oops, forgot to do this. Alright, well, whatever. No, I don't actually... I could have done this, honestly, while paused, but it's fine. Alright, so that freed up a bunch of these guys. I'm going to go ahead and actually start putting them onto the thumpers right now. And you over here. And then I can turn off heating on all of our coal thumpers because they're fairly inhospitable buildings already. They're already chilly and we haven't even really gotten into anything too nasty yet. This way I can also find the ones that are crewed by automatons for these things. And any one of these that are crewed by automatons we can also not worry as much about heating for. Eventually, if I get enough automatons over here, I can just get them all heated through automatons. Mind you, they're again a little bit less efficient, but it's still actually netting us a positive, so as long as we can keep all that working for the first few steps of this big cold snap here, because we're only going to be minus 90 in the next day there, so we're not going to actually increase by that much. We can turn off like entire blocks worth of energy, so that's all fine. Just want to check here, make sure that all these are working properly.
No time to waste. We've got work to do.
This one's got an automaton on it. Alright. Alright, so where else have I got automatons? It's wood, which I still want. And it looks like everything else is relatively fine. Okay, so we've got another one that we can move over here. And I'm just gonna move them over here now, like I don't really care that much. 167% rate of gather for some of these things, that's pretty good. Only 2 sick people going into this. And hopefully we'll be even better come the next day. I don't think we will, because as it gets colder and colder and colder, things get worse and worse and worse. I just have to make sure that no one's going out to any really cold buildings. It's going to be important that I keep this thing warmer than I think I'm going to have to, because I probably have to make sure that no one freezes to death while they go out to get that food. And I kind of want to keep our propaganda hub running, because hope drops during this event. So, that's always fun. Alright. How are we doing here? Consumption is looking pretty okay. And I'm going to start throwing in some of these here. Even when these are manned by robots, they still get the bonus. I guess it's like the foreman's human, but they don't seem to get 6, so I'm not really sure what the hell's going actually on here. This does bring it up to 39.3, which is pretty high. And we're just about there. Feel pretty nervous going into these, but whatever the hell. I think we're slowly technically making a gain in wood, so that's nice. Not much of one, but what can you expect? Let's actually double check what's the production rate for these guys here. Okay, an automaton without the overdrive is 22.20 or 22.2. For you guys, it's 26.6. So yeah, these are higher by 4.4. And if I boosted that, of course, it would be even higher by a decent amount. So yeah, that is what I thought, though. I am willing to actually just set these guys to work on the charcoal stuff right now, just so I don't have to worry about it or think about it later, even though it's a bad decision. You know, okay, no, I will wait until... I don't know. It'll probably be okay. Our coal's sort of redlining actually a little bit. Guess we could try to go ahead and build a few more. This is the last chance for me to build, like, resource posts here. There we go. Alright, so we have got 370 something worth of raw food still, which is enough rations for like 2 days. I'm going to set you guys to regular food since we're at our storage limit, basically. But yeah, that's going to cost us some wood here again, but that's fine. Okay, so we're now past the point where people work. So time to get working here. For me, anyway. Alright, pull all our workers from there, get a robot in there. This also is nice because it, like, prevents sickness. So if I can stop all of my workers from getting super sick, that would be pretty good. I'm going to have this one, and this one turn on their heaters because we're still going to have some human workers, it looks like. Actually, let's do it this way. So we've got this heater here, so I'm going to turn these three on with the heaters, and I'm going to make it so that these three have the human component here. So I have to move these mechs here. And I have to find all of my humans and replace them with robots. Much like what happens to labor in real life. Okay, so that's all fine. Let's just look where else we've got workers here. So this soup kitchen up here, it's already got like a heater, it's already got like everything I can do to make it warmer. So that's fine. This area up here, we can just turn this off now. Increase our coal saving capacity by a little bit there. This one we have to keep on. This one we can keep off. No one works up here, right? Okay, so we're closing down the pub. I know that you guys all want to go outside and freeze to death to get a drink, but you know, it's not really worth it. And we turn off all of these because they'll disable themselves automatically tomorrow anyway. Oops. This one's already disabled, but that's no surprise there. Okay, so those are all done. This one's got a job here. What is this? This is another cookhouse. That should actually be okay. Honestly, I don't really mind that cookhouse being open. We want it to be warm so that when people are going to get food anyway, they're not freezing to death. So that's all fine. Propaganda Center cookhouse combination in range of this thing, that's fine. These guys are all like for houses and stuff like that. There should be another thing over here. I'm pretty sure we can turn this one off. Kind of overlapped with this one anyway, but I just needed it for some of these businesses, but we don't need that there anymore. So this one's getting the last ones that have humans in and around them. I need to make sure that these things are not working early because they will freeze to death going in. So I'm going to turn that to regular hours. Because like the temperature doesn't actually change for these buildings for the thing on time, really. This one. I don't know why that one's so warm. Anyway, turn that on again. Okay. So with that, we've dramatically cut our coal consumption, I think. Yeah, pretty dramatically. But we're going to bounce it back up once we start adding in a bunch of our... can't remember what it's even called here. Once we start adding in a bunch of our heaters. Now, we will eventually have to also turn on, like, the overdrive, which is never great, but let's just check our heat map again here one more time. What the hell even is this? Industrial hothouse, I can turn that off. Those all go off here. These can all lose theirs. I think we're closing these buildings, basically. Okay, so... what building are you, actually? I forgot to check. You're a factory. Oh, I need to get you guys out of there. Oh, and you guys out of these. Okay. Still say that these should work during the first few days where it's, like, technically still warm in the hothouses. Okay, that's all cleared. Hospitals all need to be staffed. I cannot really afford to lose those. And I kind of don't mind having our guard posts and stuff like that still staffed. These things do need heaters, so that's fine. You're a charcoal kiln. Okay, that's fine. What I sort of could also do is get like a couple mechs from the wood chopping and just move them over to the kilns once we get like sort of high enough on wood and low enough on other resources. That's something we could do. Alright, here comes the big freeze. Well, I think this hits at like 6. Yeah, so I think carbon dioxide freezes at this temperature, and I think the game gets dangerously close to the point where oxygen freezes. So I'm not sure that this is actually physically possible for us to survive if we're experiencing these levels of temperature, like even if we've got heavily heated and stuff like that houses, because it's still wood, ultimately. Insulation value of wood's actually not the worst in the world. It would keep out quite a lot of cold, but like oxygen turns solid and starts running down in here as a liquid oxygen, like we're screwed. I'm actually, no, it wouldn't be liquid oxygen. I think it would be the nitrogen which would liquefy first. Well, carbon would turn to carbon dioxide, like, or dry ice, like really quite a bit earlier. I think it would already be dry ice, and then what else would we have? We'd have a lot of problems. There'd be issues with this. Alright, this is about to hit. Wait for the storm to hit. It has hit. So I need to check this here to figure out where we need to put heaters on. And I kind of feel like I want to turn them on for all my medical posts. But what I can do right now, since I don't have any sick people, is just turn on a couple so that people will spill into them. And turn off a bunch of medical posts. So our hope has fallen dramatically, and this is why our propaganda house is still open. Which also needs heating, apparently. Alright, so just to save on charcoal costs and make sure that our engineers don't all get sick, I'm going to turn off a bunch of these. And as soon as it starts telling me that, like, you know, I need people manning these because there are people who are sick, I'm going to raise the heaters for those as well. I'm going to go ahead and pump in heat into these guys here. I really don't want my doctors getting sick. I guess let's do that or something like that. I don't really need a prison at all at this point in time, honestly. Yeah, I'm just going to tell these guys to go home. Even though we've got this heater blaring, which is just helping like this little place and our propaganda center, I think that keeping the propaganda center up is probably kind of useful here. So our heat map now... Okay, we're still seeing some problems around these gathering posts where we have got people working. Oh no, they're not in there yet. Okay, they won't be in there till 8, so that should jump up actually to comfortable. So you might not actually get any sick people for the first few days, hopefully. And if that's the case, we should be fine. We'll hit our next minus 100, at which point we'll be at livable everywhere, and then we'll get down to chilly everywhere, and then we'll get down to screwed. And then we'll be at screwed for a couple of days, and it should break on the 46th or something, 45th or 46th. I have got the boost to our generator, so that's not too bad. Did we just get hit by something? I feel like we might have just gotten hit by something. Righto. Well, whatever. I don't want to spend too much food right now. I kind of want to save that for hospitals. We're just about going to be out of our raw food rations, but keeping these things open does keep people going to our places while they're still warmer. And I really hope that I didn't screw this up by leaving someone in a position where they're not going to survive here. I can technically turn off the guard posts and like move people out of them eventually. I think all of our fights are off here, so we've got sort of that like Guy Ritchie moment there. Just like, all bets are off. There can't be any money if all the bets are off. We are still netting positive, though, just for a little bit on our coal consumption here, though. So it's by quite a bit. We're actually gaining 4,684 a day. I think that's because we lost some of our foreman bonuses there. I could do another foreman bonus if I really wanted to, but... So this is going to be our big chill. No, it gets down to minus 150, so this is a minus 100, minus 110, 120, so there should be 2 more after that. Good boy. Did they extend the length of this? Well, that could be unpleasant. I might not make it through this then. Well... just about at the point, unfortunately, where we have no raw food left. So, I don't want to close down these buildings, like I said. I want to keep them open, and I want to have them sort of on these hours. Oops, I only switched back one from... oh well, it's fine. But yeah, like, realistically, these places are just going to be a place where people can go to get food and, like, stay warm while they're doing it for now. I'll turn them off later once it gets too cold to maintain them. Because I think right now, their temperature is, yeah, comfortable. And, if we look here, consumption, not brilliant. Something must have clicked with something. Because I don't think that one switch I flipped should have made a 4,000... No, we're still netting 4,000 a day. Oh no, never mind, that wasn't the net gain. Oh well. Maybe that was the straw that broke the camel's back. Anyway, back here I don't need this to be on, like, at all. So this should actually just be off. Okay, that helped our consumption a decent chunk. I didn't miss any others, did I? Because it would really suck if I did. It's just like, oh yeah, no, you're just using a ton of extra coal for no good reason whatsoever. Yeah, this all gets, like, sucked up as soon as I turn on the heaters for all of my hospitals. Once I've done that, like, that's when we're in trouble as far as that goes. How hot are these again? These were actually... yeah, these are actually comfortable. So, they'll be good past when the houses stop being good. So I kind of actually want to keep people in those jobs even after the storm sort of gets to the most intense point there. Like, you can move people into these sort of, like, really warm workspaces, and they'll be there during the day, and that's better than them being their homes. Like, honestly speaking, what they should have done is replace all these homes with, like, 2-story condo blocks that are heated much more efficiently by using warehouses, or not warehouses, but workshops as their house buildings, because they're... and then research how to insulate those better, because that would have allowed you to stack, like, during a storm like this, you could emergency stack, like, 40 people in one of those buildings, and all that heat circulating from the people allows you to sort of have a much more efficient heat retention in the building. It would still allow them to sort of move around the building a bit, because they would still be, like, a commons area, and there'd be plenty of small, like, 4-bunk rooms and stuff like that, and that would, like, store all the heat from all the people, as well as requiring less fuel. It would have just been a lot more efficient than this stupid, like, 10 people into these little stupid separate houses. But whatever. Okay. You do what you like. Okay, our coal consumption is still looking good. We are looking at about 4 days as soon as my coal, like, if our coal, like, just shuts itself off for whatever the hell reason, which it might. Got 8 days worth of rations, which might not actually be enough. I don't know, do I have to get to, like, day 47 here, maybe? Oh, no, this is the minus 150 hit. Okay, so it just drops straight to minus 150. Okay. And I think I just have to survive that for, like, a week or something like that. Now, the problem here is we're going to hit the point where it starts impacting our houses. Like, our houses are going to be at chilly, even though we're at maximum capacity for our generator here. So I can hit the overdrive for periods. but not for very long. And I definitely need to have the overdrive at 0% by the time this hits. So that's fun. So again, I'm going to probably start piling everybody into these. Like, this is another reason not to have efficient infirmaries, is that this way I can have 10 people in an infirmary, which is just better because they're warmer than houses. Once people get sick as well, they go into the infirmaries, and it's actually a little bit safer than being in a house. So it's being in a heated medical post. So I'm less likely to have problems once that hits. Once those heaters are on, rather. It's not actually better before the heaters. Alright, so we are starting to see some people getting a little bit sick already. Which is interesting, because, like, there shouldn't be a huge reason for it, unless, like, these places... No, it shouldn't even be these places. No, there is a small % chance that people in, like, a house get sick, I guess. It's a low chance, but it is a chance, because they're only... Yeah. Well, you got 700... Well, actually, no, so that includes robots. This music's getting friggin' intense. Okay, about to hit the next step of the temperature hit here. At this stage, I kind of do want to start opening hospitals again, and then starting to use the coal. Alright, and then... So that's an extra 12 coal per day that we're consuming, which is quite a lot. We're going to see an immediate impact on our consumption. We should still be positive, though. Barely. But the nice thing about this is that throws a bunch of extra people into these buildings where it's technically warmer than our houses, because our houses are about to drop to blue. It's the lightest blue, but it is still blue.
Brace yourselves. Cold is coming.
So now that we've got those heaters turned on, we've now got comfortable heating posts, or medical posts, rather, which does help out a bit here. Okay, this is now getting so cold, I'm not sure I can maintain this anymore. Are they actually at work, or is that before work? That's before work. They should actually be still livable, now that I think about it. So we'll just wait those extra 20 minutes here. Actually, we can check here, because it'll go up 3. Yeah, it'll go up to livable. So I still want them in there. Just lost our care center. That's fine. Child center back here, we're not working that, that's fine. Nobody's going to work right now anyway, so everyone should just stay in their houses. Or in the medical center. Like, this would be another one, like the infirmaries. Like, if you're building them, just having people in the infirmaries would also be much more efficient. Like, just convert all the houses into resource depots around this cluster of better heated buildings here, and then have, like, a corridor of, like, heated buildings around, like, here as well to the generators so that people can get there. Like, there's just a lot more efficient ways that they could have built this whole nonsense. How many people have we got sick in each of these buildings here? They should all consolidate into one building, usually. So, it should theoretically automatically be an infirmary. Okay, these guys are going to be out of here so quickly, though, that it doesn't really matter. And then they'll go out and then they'll get sick, because it's too goddamn cold out. Okay, so now we wait until... Oh, I'm going to say 11 o'clock, and then we hit this with the... Well, I could also go ahead and just decrease some of this stuff. Alright, there we go. I can afford a little bit of food here. But we're going to skip forward to 23. Then I'm going to turn on the overdrive for the night. Our food's going down pretty fast here, but not actually that bad. It's still saying we've got 7 days worth, which is a lie, because I'm pretty sure that's what it said 2 days ago. Alright. So all I need for this area is that it's a net positive from these three places compared to the 3 heaters and the one, whatever it is called, thingy. Alright. I've heard you could use a steam core to, like, avert a reactor meltdown. I'm not sure if that's true. Be interesting to just find out here. Generator stress level. Yeah, the generator will explode. Might use this run to just find that out, since I could always just, you know, save scum it. God, this music just gets so intense. So if you check, when I'm doing that, this brings our houses all the way up to comfortable. So we're just going to do this through the night here. This is going to mean that we've got like 0 people who get sick. Or, you know, a jillion people that get sick. Why are you all getting sick like this? I'm guessing it's all the people that were like out and about during the day. Alright, so I need to throughput these guys quickly. So I am going to start chucking these in the infirmaries specifically. Oops. God damn it, game. Come on. There we go. And what this is going to do is change it so that these guys finish being treated, like, really quickly. I should have waited a little bit until they were actually in the treatment centers, but whatever. So that'll get through, like, 30 of them pretty quickly. I think, like, 8 hours. The reason that this is happening, I guess, is because they're standing around in their homes during the day, and they've got, like, the sort of colder homes with a fairly high chance of getting sick. It's not, like, a huge chance of getting sick here, but it is a chance of getting sick. I'll turn this off now. I almost feel tempted to just move people into other buildings during the day, but that feels like so much micro that I just really don't want to do. Yeah, so I should, as long as I can clear through people faster than they get sick, and I think I can get at least 3 sets through per day with each of these infirmaries. That's 90 people. And as long as we can get through like 1 set with each of these, we should be fine, and since it's 17 hours, that should be okay. Alright. There's that minus 110. Like, the increased rate of sick people is kind of brutal. Probably should have had more medical outposts, honestly. Okay, so I don't need wood anymore. I'm gonna switch you guys to off. And I'm gonna move you guys over to the charcoal kilns. I know, like this building here, if I set it minus 9 plus 3, so that would be 9. That would be breaking even. So it would be certainly better than having them stick around these very cold houses. But so we're going to reach pretty soon also the point where we just get tons of people with like hypothermia, and just immediately need amputations, but that's kind of okay, I guess. Like I said, we don't really need to have people with functioning limbs anymore. That's not really a concern. I feel like I can also get away with doing a couple of these medical posts worth of just extra rations. I don't need to do all of them, but I feel like I can get away with a couple of them. Remembering that I have to just get through this last little bit here, I think probably hopefully until the 47th. Better not have lied to me. Probably did. Okay, the number of sick plummeting like a rock, which is good. I need to have as many of these as possible cleared out before the next wave hits. Okay, is this at 0% again? Yep. Gonna hit the overdrive already. Yeah, so that's gonna be... Actually, I don't think they tell you when this breaks. I think that one hits and you have to wait until an event tells you that there's going to be an end to it. If I recall correctly. I probably don't, in all honesty. So, we're up to livable. So that's nice. I could disassemble these for steam cores, but I don't think I really want to. Also, having people go out in this kind of cold feels like it would be like a suicide thing, like they'd run out there, start fixing it, and then die. So that would be less than ideal. How are we doing here? Oh yeah, no, we're pretty much clear. So thanks to the fact that I've got the like faster recovery rate on our core, I can sort of have it finish itself a lot faster than we did before. So I can probably go for until like 8 or something like that. Alright, here we go. Okay, so we do have an increase in the number of people who are sick today. So I do feel as though we are going to have to keep putting food into our medical posts. I'm going to just do it with the infirmaries, though. Again, get a couple of these, I guess. But each of those bites into a lot of our rations. I guess I can do it like 60 times for 1 day's worth, though, so it's actually quite a lot. I might just have to build more hospitals. That might also be the solution. There's not a ton of places to build them. But just gives my people something to do, I guess. Okay, this is within range of a lot of stuff, so... Hopefully this doesn't kill them. I'm not really sure. Okay, I need to turn this off now, unfortunately. Ooh, yeah, that is pretty damn cold there. So this is where in the game, again, I still don't really get why people will not use heaters in their homes. Like, I guess the reason they did it that way is because it would be too easy otherwise. But still, this feels kind of ridiculous. Storm, darkness before dawn. We have to stay strong. I run the calculations. The storm will pass in a couple days, but the temperature just before will end, the end will drop drastically. Okay, so this is the thing that's telling us when the, yeah, so it's only going to be for that temperature drop from that period to that period. Okay. I was like, do I have to go until the 47th or some freaking thing? Like, that would be interesting. Oh, I have to check these buildings here. What's their temperature at? Chilly, you know what? That's better than being at home. Surprised no one's, like, thrown themselves into the reactor core just to be, like, warm. Just in some sort of manic rush to not be cold. That'd be an interesting event. Are you guys still okay? You guys are still okay. Let's propaganda. And do this. Just get our hope back up a little bit, make sure we don't lose that. Okay, so we got a ton of extra engineers. So this is going to both help our throughput as well as just keeping people out of the cold. Certainly not giving these guys any extra rations or anything like that, but... Yeah, I thought I missed one of those. Did I miss one of these as well? Nope, they're all got. Okay, I feel like I just missed a message here. No? Alright. Nope, we've got 15 people who have got frostbite. They're probably people who were trying to fix those buildings up there. I'm going to turn this on for just a few minutes here until the freezing goes away, if it does, potentially. There it goes. I think if we keep that on for like a couple hours and then turn it off for a couple hours, that's sort of the way to go for that. People refuse to work. I don't even know what facility that is. It's probably a hospital. I bet it's a hospital. Oh, was it one of these? If it was one of these, I'm gonna be... Oh, it was one of these. Okay, you know what? Fuck that. Hold on a second. I'll be right back. Okay, and we're back. So I think we're actually a little bit past where we were last time. So I have increased the number of hospitals just even a little bit more there. We still have tons of coal, actually. So that's fine. I could actually just start slamming down, like, heaters on, like, random-ass buildings if I really wanted to, but I don't really feel as though that's responsible. Yeah, also, like, overdrive is the only thing that can really keep us warm at this point in time. And, yeah, I desperately need to have a full overdrive for when this hits, so that's going to be a part of it. So we'll figure out which building actually is about to get hit by that. Our discontent's actually almost 0, so realistically speaking, I can just tell people to work. This one's not actually, this one's definitely one of these back here. Like, I feel as though it's gotta be one of these ones instead of the, yeah, that's fine. One of those sort of medical posts is fine, as long as it's not one of the infirmaries, because these infirmaries' throughput is much, much faster right now than the standard. Like, these things are just churning through people. Right now, these guys, the medical posts, are just holding spaces for, like, people to get, like, desperately needed palliative care while they get real care in the infirmaries, so that's kind of how we're doing things right now. In any event, though, like, yeah, every time this thing looks like we're about to get into frostbite territory, I have to turn this on again, and we can keep it on for like a couple of hours, but I do need to drop it down as much as possible here. Keep it sort of lower. I don't want it to be at a very high percentage when we hit that last cold spike, because I need it to be turned on for that entire cold spike. So I'll let this go up to like 25%, and then I'll let it drop down to like 15% or something like that. I think that's sort of a good way to go about doing it. I can afford to have a few amputees or something like that before the end of this. Like, that's relatively okay, although I'd really rather not. Given the choice between the two, of like a bunch of people dying because I completely putz it up, or having a few people who need to get, you know, treated for frostbite, I'd much rather the frostbite. Also, who the hell is this that's just like dying out here and just not going to a hospital? Go to a hospital. Alright, so one of the other things I would like in this game is if, like, there's more residual heat, so like places just stayed warm for a couple hours at least. Just a couple. Alright, so but before the big one hits, I need to get everybody off of every single job ever, other than hospitals, because hospitals are of course still important, but like, well, maybe not actually, because they're still technically warmer than houses, aren't they? Yeah, I guess, no, they're technically warmer than being in a house. Even when I put on the overdrive, it's going to be that it's warmer than a house. What about these buildings over here, though? Like, what's going on over here? Okay, so the watchtower's extremely cold and stuff like that. I'm going to actually turn the watchtowers off. It's going to drop our hope by a little bit, but you know what, that's fine. The guard posts, on the other hand, are nice and toasty, so like the people in the guard posts can keep doing their stuff. I guess it doesn't really matter because these are within the habitable area, but whatever. Yeah, there's just some places that you can work in this game where it's just more worth it to stay in your job, I guess. Alright, how's our throughput here? So I think people shuffle out of these ones into the infirmaries, so they really are just sort of holding cells. We've definitely got enough food, actually, if we only have to get to the end of the 45th, so that's actually not a problem. Alright, so... can turn this back on, like, get up to 20% in just a second here. I had to turn it on for a little bit longer because I wanted people to recover after trying to build stuff in the goddamn freezing cold, so that's a thing. Found 15, we're turning it back on. It's weird that these guard posts, like, the guard post design, you would not think you would be warm in that. Like, that is the sort of building that is exposed way too much to, like, the wind and stuff like that. On the other hand, if you could build, like, a whole bunch of propaganda centers and let people live in those, like, these would be a fantastic building to consolidate, like, central heating, a kitchen, like, just a bunch of stuff to keep people warmer. If I was going to survive in any type of building, that would be a great one to design. Even a prison. Like, these little small houses are such a bad idea in this kind of weather. Like, a big drafty building obviously is a bad idea in this kind of weather, but still. That's not really what I'm talking about. You would, like, have a whole bunch of, like, close, small apartment buildings in, like, an enclosed area so that all the heat gets retained inside the building. I'd, like, put the hallways on the outside rather than and have the, like, apartment cells on the inside so that there's maximum sort of insulation of where people are actually staying and where the heat's being consolidated to. And then a secondary sort of, like, internal hallway for people to move around so they're not opening the door to, like, that outer hallway unless they need to get out somewhere. Like, that kind of thing, that's what I would do. Alright, so is this up to, like, yeah, this is over 20%. I'm gonna turn it off again. Okay, so... gotta drop this down to, like, 15% again. Gonna wait till midnight. Might take a little longer than midnight. Oh, you know what? Actually, we're pretty okay in terms of, like, the number of sick people. Oh, here it comes. Alright. So unless we have, like, 200 people sick, I'm gonna be relatively okay. We're starting to see some frostbite, though, so... that little frostbite symbol means you absolutely have to keep this running for, like, an hour. Let's just go till 2:30. Okay, so we have got, like, 200 sick people. Great. Now my computer is telling me I've got low disk space again here. Fantastic. Alright, just about at the point where I can boost the amount of food here. Anyway, yeah, I think I should be able to manage getting to the end of this, but I'll go clear out some disk space. I'll be right. Alright, so I've made some room there. Hopefully that
fixes the problem. Now, we have gone a few hours without the overdrive on, but, oh yeah, we have got like 200 sick people today, too. Fantastic. Alright, now that I know we've got this bloody much food, I'm going to start getting these guys cleared out of these lots as well. Since we only need to have enough for one more day, I could actually probably go through every single medical post that I've got here. Game is starting to run a
pretty poor rate here.
I feel like I deleted a bunch of stuff, but maybe I didn't
do it properly, because it feels like it is chugging still, or maybe I have to
reset my game. In all honesty, would probably make sense at this point, but
whatever.
Let's see, we're down to 14% here. Turning it on.
Yep, over 200 sick. Fantastic. Our capacity, though, means that if we can get through one person through each of these in a day, we should be able to get through this. And these guys go through them pretty damn fast, so... What's our speed on one of these ones, actually? Probably shouldn't have bothered as much with those ones and more with these ones, because these ones actually have the agitators near to them. Either way, let's just get this done. Having these guys on constant extra rations is important. It feels like. Could be wrong. Might be wrong here. Okay. So I feel like we can go off of overdrive for a few more minutes here. Discontent just spiked here. What's going on? Well, nothing I can really do about it right now, so just ignore that. 10, 15. I want to go down to 10 if I can. Panic spreads. I don't even know what's up. Oh, this is these guys. Yeah, you know what? Turn you off. Get a robot in here. Get the rest of these to turn off completely. I don't really need these guys to continue working here, really. Hope is flagging again a little bit here. This is not quite 10%. It's not even nearly 10%, actually. There we go. Up again. So we'll go up to 15 and then drop to 5 this time. I want to try and keep track, actually, of our medical. Guy came back with his daughter. Good for him. Whatever the hell. Alright, that went up a bit too high. Maybe just drop it to 7% or something like that. We just gradually want to get it down a little bit so that when we hit this, we can sort of go the rest of the day. Although I could probably actually hit here and go the rest of it. Totally honest with you. Because, like, how many hours does overdrive even last? Well, either way, we're going to try and let it drop a bit. Keep giving food to the sick, I guess. How are we doing here? Looking at 7-ish hours range here. You guys... much faster, obviously. Okay. Oh, hold on one sec. Okay, and we're back. So, yeah, honestly, I kind of hate this sort of moment here. Alright, either way, let's go ahead and hit about... that mark there. Alright. Stop working for the day. Don't even know who that was or what the hell they were... Was that our propaganda center? It was our propaganda center. Those guys, they're so bad at their jobs. Alright, whatever. Let's hit you one more time before everything goes completely to pot. Just want to get an overview of what's going on here. So realistically speaking, the only way that you can get, like, anywhere warm is to be in one of the hospitals, which is probably, technically speaking, a really bad thing, because it means that all of the people are like, oh yeah, no, I'm really sick, and it's just to get into the hospital. Yeah, so we've actually, for the first time, I feel really fallen behind on our medical, but that's only sort of because I'm relying on our 3 little ones there. Or 3 big ones, rather. Oh, this one went in operative. Shit. I don't remember authorizing you guys to go. Maybe it was an icon over something that I thought was something else. Oh no, that was from a while ago. Was that today? I thought that was a while ago. Shit. Oh, no, there's one. 78877. Yeah, we're not gonna hit our goal of getting through all of these today. Let's drop down a bit again here. And get ready to just keep it on here. Alright, I feel like we might... No. You know what, I'm going to keep toggling it on and off a bit here. I really have no conception as to how far across that bar we can really get with this thing before it explodes, so... Alright, down to 8 sick people in waiting, so those are the people who are going to end up being in palliative care in a second here if we don't increase our throughput. But looks like we're clearing through a number of these guys. Yeah. The big problem is, like, we've still got probably several hours on these guys. I don't know, some of these are finally starting to clear some people through. Okay, well, maybe we'll be okay. Okay, I'm turning this on again, and I... Go until, I think, midnight. Turn it off. Oh, got below. Got below, so no palliative care. And I think we'll hit this with a whole ton of sick people, but no one in need of prosthetics. Oh no, wait, I remember this one. This one hits... I've got enough, I've got plenty of overdrive for this. Huh. Should end actually, like, right in the morning, I think. Work ceases. Only medical, yeah, medical, obviously. Okay. If medical closed for this, like, that would be such a dick move on all the doctors' parts. It's just like, yeah, I know, like, everyone's dying, but, like, it's really cold, so... Alright. So here's where it's bad even if we've got the overdrive on, but people, like, just instantly die if I turn it off, so that's fun. Wait a minute. Huh. Medical facilities all shut off here. That's interesting. Okay, so I've only got infirmaries now, but on the plus side, we only have to last like another couple hours, because I think it's 8 o'clock that we, this ends here. Even now, our infirmaries are actually doing a pretty good job. Alright, let's keep this, going though. I want to avoid as many potential moments of people losing their limbs as possible here. Okay. Yeah, no one is gravely sick here, either. So this fixes itself in a couple hours. Yeah, we had a lot more on the percentage this time. We made it. We survived, we made it. Huzzah! Okay, well... Apparently I have to replace all of our regular hospitals with infirmaries. Just nothing but infirmaries, apparently. That's fun. No, I don't know. The regular hospitals actually really helped out there. I don't think I needed to have too many. Okay, so let's see what the game has to say about whatever the hell I did wrong this time. It's like, you force people to eat soup, you're worse than Hitler. It's like, up yours, game. We started as a small society. I'm pretty sure we still ended as a small society, some refugees, you know. 80 people. No food. Old habits. I like how just some days it just suddenly an entire block appears. It's just like that district wasn't here yesterday. First we decided to tighten our belts. Thin soup became our main meal. Again, up yours. And every day was a struggle. I think by this point in time I was actually on normal food, so we adapted. This music's getting really loud here, actually, for some reason. Prisons, watchful guards. This isn't the order I did them. Work oversight. Morning gatherings. Why did they do it from, like, least pleasant to most pleasant? Yet, I think... we haven't crossed... prisons? Isn't... fuck you, game. Order gave us strength. We survived. Yeah, up here's with the fire hose game. New London, 693 people, minus 30 degrees Celsius. I don't think anyone died this run, because I cheated a lot, but, you know... Also because, like, the only thing I had to cheat are necessary events where it's just, like, someone automatically dies. Alright, so that's... Extreme Frostpunk. It is not better than regular Frostpunk. But, yeah, it was important for me to do that to get a clear impression of the game on the harder difficulty, because it did change things in a way that I think sort of directs me to think about it in a different way from the normal game, but at the same time, yeah, I'll have my review of this game out in a little bit here. But anyway, hope you found this video enjoyable, and as always, hope to see you guys all